I just want to start off by saying that $700 is outrageous, but by the end of this, you'll know why. So basically what happened is my friend Kelly is a bride, and so...
You were in charge of her bachelorette party?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and how many people?
There was 14 ladies altogether.
14 ladies. Mm-hmm. And whose decision was it to get a stripper?
It was mine.
Okay, but did you run it by her?
No, it was a surprise.
A surprise.
Yeah.
But you knew she'd think that was fun and funny.
All together. So we've been friends since like high school.
Okay, so you know them very well.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's something that's been a
how did you find Mr. Willis?
So I found him through one of my coworkers who was singing his praises one day when I mentioned it at work. She gave me his number and I texted him that night and asked him about his services. He then texted me some pictures. I hired him based off of the pictures that you see there. So we came to the agreement that he was going to charge $1,200 and that $600 of that was going to be due as the initial deposit. And so I had no problem with that. I actually have evidence that I paid that as well.
Okay.
And so fast forward, April comes around, he shows up to the party, and it is not at all what any of us were expecting. In which case, and that's what it's giving from the pictures. That's not quite what it's giving in real life.
Okay, so what happens?
So we give him the shot. We're like, okay, well, we'll see what he does when he starts to come out dancing. So he arrives, you know, we give him his time. But before then, we're a little inebriated at this point. Because before this, you know, we're joking, we're laughing, we're having fun, we're dancing. Like, it's a party, it's a whole party. We decide, or I thought it would be funny to offer him a little bit of the food that we had, which happened to be, he's a little skinny, Your Honor.
Oh, so you meant it as a joke? Like, beef up, why don't you?
Yeah, like, you know, honestly.
So it was like a private, he didn't realize that you were joking, did he?
Maybe not, because he ate it.
Okay, and then what happened?
So, I mean, everything was fine. We ate the food as well. And then he went to the bathroom, he changed. He actually came back out in the fireman garb. Didn't quite look like the picture, but he started to perform. We were, you know, like, all right, let him do his thing. He was supposed to be paid, that $1,200 was supposed to cover an hour.
Wow.
We got to 45
wrong
minutes.
Business. Go ahead.
Aren't we all? No, so it was 45 minutes in, and that's when he abruptly left. He went to the bathroom, so he had his own like little dressing area, like a counter and all of that. That's like off to the side of the bathroom. He ran off to that, was gone for 10 minutes, came back out.
What did he do for 45 minutes?
Dancing.
For 45 minutes straight? One would think that one might get bored of that.
I mean, he has, you know, he was trying to pull out a couple of tricks. So.
Did he have good moves? Okay, so what happens at minute 45? He runs off? Like suddenly? There's no finale, there's no...
He kind of was just like, oh, let me just, kind of almost like a tiptoe, kind of like the church finger. Like,
Okay.
In which case, he kind of goes, and we're like, okay, what's going on? So of course, I'm inquiring at this point, like I'm knocking on the door, like, hello, what's going on in there? He comes out, has his jacket on over the fireman garb, and is like, yeah, I gotta go.
Did he say why?
He said that he was sick.
Okay.
So he said his stomach was hurting, blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, but you still have 15 minutes, and like there was, like, I'm really not understanding what's going on. He left anyway.
Did you ever, on that night, did you ever tell him you don't look like that? Or no?
I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
I got it. I'm just asking if it came up.
Let's take a look at these photos. I'm looking at the defendant here. He definitely looks a little skinny, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But in these photos that he provided, does not seem accurate to how he looks, which, ladies, stay vigilant. You're on these dating apps these days and some man is showing up with some AI generated image of his abs. Just beware. Now, another thing I noticed in these photos is the difference in tattoos on the chest. Sure, one could say that he got tattoos after this other photo was taken, but I'm just pointing out the discrepancies in these photos. But can you imagine being a stripper, going to a bachelorette party where all the women are kind of like, yeah, do your thing. They're feeling bad for you, pitying you so that you do your little dancey dance and they pretend to enjoy it. But I mean, on the other hand, come on, guy. You're really gonna show these photos as a way to market yourself and then show up to a bachelorette party where you know very well that you do not look like those photos? That, my friend, is false advertising.
Mr. Willis, what happened?
Well, she booked me, and I showed up, and she offered me the food. I started to eat some of the food that she had provided, and it was this store-bought cheap pasta. So I had some, and long story short, it cut my performance short. I was gonna give them a grand, my well-known finale, and I couldn't do that because the chef.
What's your well-known finale?
Well-known finale? Well, you know what, Your Honor?
I don't want you to do it here. I just want you to give me a gist.
I charge.
You charge
for
a
that.
lot.
I do because my fan base is growing. People love me.
That's great, and I'm happy for you. I have a question. Is that you?
That's me. That's me.
When?
5 years ago.
I give it
Your
about
Honor.
six months. Sometimes so my weight fluctuates, right?
But how do your arms fluctuate? Like I'm looking at your arms, and those aren't the same arms that I see there.
You
As a
know
matter of fact,
what?
I think can you show me your right arm?
Your Honor, people pay for this.
Yeah, no,
people
I got
pay
it.
for that. People pay for this.
Yeah, none of those tattoos are on that arm.
Well, you know what? I actually got some laser removal as of recently.
The tattoos are there now. They aren't there then.
Oh, these are
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
These are new. These are new. These are new. These
Yeah.
are new. These are new.
Yeah.
Those are old. These are new.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Oh. You want
she
the $600 back, but you let him stay there 45 minutes dancing. So why should you not pay anything at all for the 45 minutes you got?
Because I paid for an hour and I only got 45 minutes.
That's not really it, is it?
I mean, well,
It's because
that's
you paid
part
for
of it.
that. That's
Exactly.
really what it is. Because I got to tell you, I peeked into the courtroom when I saw the pictures. Okay? I'm only human, right? No offense. Very few people look like that. You included, but most people don't look like that. That is a very unique
Your Honor,
set of photos.
I have no reason to lie. No
You-
reason to lie. My weight fluctuates.
Is that your head on
I'm
someone
an
else's
honest
body?
man. I wouldn't fabricate.
Yeah, we're not saying you fabricated, but someone named ChatGPT might have done it. Sir, that is not you. Give it a rest. Okay, why would you lie? I don't know, it beats me. Maybe because you're charging $1,200? That seems like a pretty good reason to be lying.
Did you ever talk to your friend and say,
talked to
what the
her.
hell?
Your Honor,
Okay.
if
That
I
was
a
may,
hot
she
mess.
Yes.
looked like she was enjoying it.
Can I just ask you a question? When did you look like that?
Give or take 6 months ago. So,
Dude, that is not your body.
Your Honor.
That guy's taller than you
Your
even.
Honor, I would disrobe if you didn't
No,
mind.
I do
but-
not want you to disrobe.
Okay,
I
see?
want him.
Okay.
Never mind.
You feel my pain, Your Honor.
$600 deposit.
That's
all
what
it
we
needs.
wanted.
Okay, but you didn't say out when he walked in. You said, yeah, let's just roll with the punches. Because that's what people do. They roll with the punches. If you don't, you're not going to make it to old age, okay? So it's funny. It'll be a funny thing that you guys talk about that you thought this guy was walking in and not that guy walked in. And then you let him perform for 45 minutes. That's 3/4 of the thing. You want him to have been there 45 minutes providing all this levity and not pay him anything. How is that right?
Your Honor, I was catfished.
But then you want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want to pretend like you didn't have him dancing for 45 minutes. I just don't even understand how the thing can last 45 minutes. I've never seen one last
I usually go an hour, and I
Why
was
would you go
prepared.
an hour? Oh my God, I don't want an hour of anything. Nobody wants an hour.
I love what I do. I'm booked everywhere. I'm talking about well-known locally, performing in different countries.
Nobody complains that you don't look like that?
I looked like that about 6 months ago, right?
Bro, you're telling me that you're a traveling stripper performing in different countries? Give it a rest. I am absolutely floored by this case.
Are you still as busy?
Yeah.
You're suing her for $700. Tell me about that, because the rest of the contract was $600. So what are you suing her
Right.
for?
So she paid the initial. The $700 is for my back end deposit, and then $100 that I would have made.
The
for my tips.
$600 is for the rest of your payment.
Correct. $600 is for the rest of my payment and $100 in tips.
Tips?
What I was expecting to make in tips. That's what I usually make in tips. I probably
$100 in tips?
Yeah.
After somebody paid you $1,200 to be there for an hour?
Yeah.
And after you left early with intestinal and fortitude?
Well.
And you didn't do the grand finale that you're famous for?
I think that I do deserve what I was expecting to get. And
Except for you left, she didn't throw you out.
I gave her one of these before I left, you know.
Oh, no, that's a grand finale.
Listen, her friend Neek loved it.
Okay.
She's
What
special.
did you guys say to each other after he left?
What just happened, Your Honor?
Right.
What did we just experience?
Okay.
It was not what I paid for.
Yes, I understand.
It was
Which
not
is
the
why
body
I'm
I
probably
wanted.
not going to not probably. I am going to rule now. I am not going to make you pay the other $600 because I feel that is false advertising. However, why should he give you back the $600 that you gave him when you had him dancing 45 minutes? Never mind. I will answer my own question. I will not make him give you back the $600. I think that everybody should have just gone home, you with good stories, and you with your tail between your legs. That is not who arrived at the party. Verdict on your case against him, for him, on his case against you, for you.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled. Both claims are dismissed.
You got lucky.
If it isn't FDA approved, you shouldn't be serving it. And I don't think justice was served today. I'm gonna just be honest.
If it isn't FDA approved. Sir, are these photos FDA approved? Because whatever you're serving is not what the doctor ordered. Okay? Honestly, I agree with Judge Milian 100%. They still had a good time. I'm sure it'll be a funny story to talk about in, I don't know, 5 years. Sure, it's a bummer you didn't get what you paid for, but such is life. Serves you right for paying $1,200 for a stripper in the first place. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on this case. Would you pay $1,200 for that man? Do you think Judge Milian's ruling was fair? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.